Hello everybody, it's your Balgashisubi here and welcome back to another video. And for this week's video, I thought it would be a fun idea to design my own versions of the gods or gods from mythology. Yeah, for this video I'll be designing my own versions of the god of death and the god of life and turning them into characters. And what I mean by this is just I'll be like creating taking different concepts and turning them into gods, like different versions of them. Yeah, I feel like that's a bit obvious, but you know, I'll go over the designing and art process for these characters, and then I'll go over some lore I thought of for these characters. And well, yeah, with that, sit back and enjoy my rambling about my version of the god of death and the god of life. Death, take one. The first character I made for this was the god of death, which I named Death, take two. The first character I made for this was the god of death, which I named Haidali, a combination of the names Hades and Kali. I wanted this character to be more of a guide for souls and not necessarily an embodiment of death, which is what a lot of versions of death are, although I did want their appearance to symbolize certain aspects of death. I gave them an unnatural skin tone to embody dying of illness, and gave them some sharper edges and sharper shapes in their outfit to embody dying in painful ways. But I also gave them a young and soft look to symbolize dying peacefully. I also gave them a messy hairstyle, and added some dark shading on the eyes, both to symbolize again dying of illnesses, but also to show that Haidali works hard and is a very tired god. For both of these gods, I drew direct inspiration from different cultures, and for Haidali, I drew inspiration from Greek culture. Since cooler colors are more associated with death, I gave them a nice teal palette, but you'll notice I had some gold accents. This was mainly to break up the cooler colors, and is a cool pairing thing that I did with my god of life, which you'll see in that section. Yeah, I also wanted this version of the god of death to be shown a bit differently, since most of the time the god of death is shown in media to be mean or the bad guy. This just kind of makes sense why people would write like a death character this way, since like seeing as like death is seen as a scary thing to people, and you know, it's really the easiest one to turn into your bad guy into a story about the Greek gods, even if they weren't really the bad guy in the first place. Percy Jackson movie. But the point with Haidali is that they are the guide for souls, leading them to their eternal sleep. So they're more gentle and kind, assuring assuring the dead that it's okay and to not fear death. Even though in this picture they do appear more stern, but I hope that comes across. Yeah, it's just a little different with the god of death. But anyway, with that in mind, I gave them a scythe that doesn't really function as a weapon. The blade curves in a way where it can't work for that, really. It swirls, it's like a weird swirl thing in at the end. It doesn't really work. You can't really use that as a weapon scythe like in every other thing. So yeah. And I put a lantern on the end of it. I would imagine this they would use this for guiding souls, and also the lantern is to again symbolize the fact that their scythe may appear threatening, but it really is not a weapon. I really love how their scythe turned out. I think all the details I gave it look really cool, and it works really well. I don't usually give my weapons this much detail, but I think it works well for this, and I'm happy with it. You'll also notice at this point how I gave them wings. These are meant to be crow wings. Crows are often connected to death, since in many mythos, crows are the sort of grim reapers that carry the souls of the dead to the afterlife. The same thing that Haidali does. So yeah, I also added spider lilies throughout the design. Spider lilies are most commonly associated with death, so I thought it was fitting. I worked on the background first so I could get an understanding of the lighting, and for this version of the afterlife, my idea is that dead souls are put into gems, and depending on the purity of the souls, the soul could be in an eternal dream of happiness or an eternal nightmare. I also gave Haidali a gem, one of these soul gems, to hold. Yeah. As far as the lore goes, I've turned these characters into like actual characters of mine and like an actual story I'm writing. But basically, in this crazy, weird universe of mine that has very a little bit complicated if I say it out loud, but and I don't really want to explain too much of it because spoilers, because I'm going to make all this into a comic one day, I hope anyway, but but in this universe, the lore of the gods are that some gods are born as gods, specifically the first of the gods that were born when the universe was born. And then there are gods who were not born as gods. I imagine there is this sort of godly force in the universe that chooses people if they are worthy to be gods or not. But the twist is they have to die first in order for them to sort of leave their mortal body to become immortal. And I would imagine this is how Haidali became a god. And I would imagine like this wave of gods would be like considered like the second gen of gods of sorts. Yeah, and they were of course chosen to be the god of death. This system of the afterlife had already existed, but Haidali was chosen to look after it. However, Haidali doesn't really agree with the system. They think that if a person was really good, they deserve something more than just sleeping and should get a second chance at life. And often they'll think of and experiment with different ways that they could build a new afterlife with. And like I said, they're also really friendly with people. A lot of people are, of course, at first a little intimidated. They're like, oh no, this is the god of death. Oh, am I gonna die if I see them or what? Or if I go to their realm or anything? What will happen? But nothing will happen because they're chill. Unless it is your time to die. But then they'll just take it to the afterlife. And yeah. That's pretty much all the lore I've thought up, or at least the lore I can spill the beans on now. But yeah, as far as the artwork goes, I really like it. I think it turned out really well, and I really love how the colors looks, and I really like how the shading turned out. Again, I really love the scythe, and I think their design looks really cool as well. Yeah. Is all I have for that. Here's the final product. While Haidali is not working, they're spending their time with their best friend, who will be shown on screen now. Next is Jabai, the god of life and nature. His name is an iteration of the name Jeb, the Egyptian god of earth. Because of this, I wanted this design to look more like an Egyptian god. I also decided to add the Ankh, the Egyptian symbol of life, in elements of its design. Now, usually when you think of a god of life and nature, some would think of them as a female representing goddess. But like I said before, these designs are meant to take away from, or to break away from some of the standards of character design that you see a lot in media, which is why I decided Jabai would be a male presenting character instead. Not that there's anything wrong with female representing gods or goddesses or anyone, really. But you know, I like drawing dudes, so there. Although in this universe, gods aren't actually male or female, I decided they would just be, you know, whatever they wanted to be, and they can choose how they want to present themselves. Anyway, when I started designing these two, I knew I wanted them to match and differ in certain ways so that they're more obviously a pair. For example, I gave him silver accents when Haidali has gold, and I also gave him wings, I also gave him some flowers. His wings ended up looking eagle-like. I don't know why, and I don't know if that's like true to Egyptian culture or not, but I like it. It looks cool. I searched up flowers that are most commonly associated with life and joy, and I got lilacs, roses, and peonies. I hope that the lilacs look okay. I never drew them before this. I've never drawn them before, but I like them. I like how they turned out. They look good. I was struggling a lot with the colors, but I actually decided that some of the accent colors should be like pink in order to match the flowers, which also ties into the fact that I wanted him to have this character trait where he matches his surroundings. So like in this drawing, he obviously matches his surroundings, and he sort of embodies it. An idea I had for his lore is that his form, mostly his colors, would change based on the setting he was in. So for example, here his palette is mostly green because the background is mostly green. But in a colder environment with more snow, his design might have more whites and grays, or in a desert, it might have more warmer tones like oranges and reds. Yeah, it's just a little thing I thought of. And for the artwork here, I wanted him to be lying down under some trees. And this was actually really fun to play with the lighting here. I've done this sort of technique before on another drawing similar to this, but to shade him here, I first did the main shading stuff, and then I add a multiply layer, clip it to his colors, softly erase some parts, and then used my custom leaf brush to create the image of light. Now this brush, all these drawings were done in Paint. I've recently gotten into Clip Studio Paint, however, so I will be attempting to recreate my leaf brush with Clip Studio Paint, and then maybe I'll have it available for download. If you want to get a leaf brush, I'll have it available, so you also have great leaf brush. Yeah. I might do my grass brush as well, but no, my grass brush kind of sucks. I might not. Onto his lore and stuff, which I already kind of touched into. Jabai became a god the same way Haidali did. However, he became a god before they did. The two of them became best friends, bestest of friends. I would imagine that they would commonly pop up into each other's realms at random, and Jabai would be like, "Hey, what you doing?" And then he would state how Haidali works too hard, works too much, and they would hang out and stuff. It's very wholesome. Jabai is very smart and wise, but is also pretty friendly. However, much like nature itself, he does have a dangerous side, and you really don't want to get on that side. It's kind of scary. He actually doesn't really know what to do, what to think about what Haidali is doing with their experiments of a new afterlife, since he's chill with the way things are. He's a bit more traditional, and I would imagine that would lead into some interesting stuff in this story I'm doing. So yeah. I also imagine his weapon to be a spear, but because he's just chilling under some trees, I decided not to add it here because, yeah. And with that, here's the final artwork. I also like how he turned out. I think he turned out very well, and I think they both look great. And yeah, I might do other gods, like other personifications, maybe like God of Love, God of the Sea, stuff like that. But let me know if you want to see that. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching. This was really fun to make, and I hope you guys like this. These pictures, as well as my other artworks, are on my socials, linked below. I have 2 comics on my Webtoon, Lost Hearts and Mysteries in Hysteria, so be sure to check those out, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!